Commander Pax Tuvek stared at the holographic display, his 4 violet eyes narrowing with disdain. The blue and green planet rotating before him looked so ordinary. So vulnerable. So primitive. This is Earth? This is the planet that has the High Council so concerned? Pax scoffed, running a clawed hand through the bioluminescent crests that adorned his head. Their most advanced vehicles still use combustion engines. They haven't even colonized their own moon. Lieutenant Morgax cleared her throat nervously. The intelligence reports suggest they're more resourceful than they appear, Commander. Resourceful? Ha! Pax slammed his fist on the command console, causing several junior officers to flinch. Look at them. Fighting amongst themselves over arbitrary land borders. Poisoning their own atmosphere. They're primitive monkeys in fancy clothes. The bridge of the Zolarian warship Inevitable Dominance fell silent. Nobody dared contradict the infamous Commander Tuvek, known throughout the Empire for his ruthless efficiency, and his volcanic temper. One ship, Pax muttered, shaking his head. The High Council sends one ship for a warning strike. As if I'm some junior cadet on a training mission. Admiral Nexera's holographic image flickered above the communication terminal. The humans must understand their place in the galactic hierarchy, Commander. A demonstration of our superiority will suffice. We don't want to waste resources. With all due respect, Admiral, this assignment is beneath me. Your recent failure at Proxima Centauri suggests otherwise, Nexera replied coolly. Consider this your opportunity for redemption. Pax's jaw tightened. Understood, Admiral. As the hologram disappeared, Pax turned to his weapons officer. Target their eastern seaboard. The settlement designated Boston. Nothing dramatic, just enough to make them wet themselves. The massive warship descended through Earth's atmosphere, its cloaking field rippling like heat waves on a summer day. Civilians pointed upward as the ship's massive shadow eclipsed the sun. Disruptors at 30%. Targeting complete, reported Weapons Officer Zara. Fire at will, Pax commanded with a bored wave of his hand. Green energy beams lanced downward, slicing through several buildings. Pax expected panic, disorganization, primitive weapons fired uselessly at their hull. What he didn't expect was the immediate launch of 47 missiles from concealed silos. Incoming projectiles, screamed Tactical Officer Bren. There. Wait, they're tracking our cloaking field. Impossible. Pax roared, leaping to his feet. Evasive maneuvers. The first missile detonated against their shields, which shouldn't have happened. These humans shouldn't have been able to target them at all, let alone penetrate their cloaking. Sir. Their weapons contain elements we've never seen before. As alarms blared across the bridge, Commander Pax Tuvek realized with dawning horror that he'd made a terrible, terrible mistake. Shields at 47% and dropping. Lieutenant Morgax shouted over the cacophony of alarms. 3 more missile waves incoming. Commander Pax clutched the command chair as the Inevitable Dominance shuddered violently. This wasn't supposed to happen. These humans were supposed to be helpless, terrified, confused. Instead, they were fighting back with devastating precision. Get me Admiral Nexera now. Pax bellowed, wiping purple blood from a gash on his forehead. The ship rocked again as another volley of missiles connected with their hull. On the tactical display, Pax watched in disbelief as human aircraft, supposedly primitive jets, executed complex evasive patterns while launching weapons that somehow tracked his ship's energy signature. Sir. Look at this. Officer Zara's voice cracked with panic. The humans have deployed some kind of energy disruption field. Our weapon systems are destabilizing. The Admiral's hologram flickered to life, her expression unnervingly calm despite the chaos visible behind Pax. Report, Commander. We're under heavy attack. Their technology, it's not possible. They're tracking our cloaked signature, disrupting our shields with targeted electromagnetic pulses, and, yes, quite impressive, Nexera interrupted. Their adaptation rate exceeds our estimates. Pax froze, the implication hitting him like a plasma blast. You knew? We've monitored Earth for decades, Commander. Their species shows remarkable ingenuity when threatened. Your mission was to gauge exactly how advanced their defensive capabilities have become. The ship lurched violently as something critical was hit. Engineering reported multiple breaches in the lower hull. You sent me here to die. Pax roared, his crests flaring bright red with rage. To gather intelligence, Nexera corrected coldly. Though your survival was always optional. The transmission cut off as another explosion rocked the bridge. Through the view screen, Pax watched in horror as human vessels, submarines he hadn't detected, surfaced in formation, launching what appeared to be gravity distortion torpedoes. They have G-Tech? Impossible. We only developed that 2 centuries ago. Sir. Tactical Officer Bren's voice trembled. Earth military communications indicate they're deploying something called Project Phoenix from multiple continental locations. On the display, strange craft were rising from hidden mountain bases, desert installations, and ocean platforms. They moved unlike anything in the Zolarian database. As the ship's reactor began emergency shutdown procedures, Commander Pax finally understood. They weren't just fighting back. They were revealing capabilities they'd kept hidden, waiting for exactly this moment. Full retreat. Get us back to orbit, he ordered, knowing with sickening certainty that his superiors had sacrificed him to test humanity's defenses. And humanity had passed the test spectacularly. The inevitable dominance limped into low Earth orbit, trailing debris and venting atmosphere from multiple hull breaches. Commander Pax staggered through the flickering corridors toward the Auxiliary Command Center, the main bridge now exposed to vacuum. Status report, he demanded, collapsing into the secondary command chair. Critical systems failing across all decks, Lieutenant Morgax replied, her voice hollow. And sir. They're following us. The tactical display confirmed his worst fears. Multiple Earth vessels, not primitive rockets but sleek, advanced craft, were rising through the atmosphere in pursuit. Their designs were unlike anything Pax had ever seen, yet somehow familiar. Those propulsion signatures, he murmured, squinting at the data. They're based on Centaurian technology, but modified. Improved. Officer Bren worked frantically at a damaged console. Sir, I've accessed their global communication network. You need to see this. The screen displayed Earth leaders, dozens of them from nations that had been bitter enemies for centuries, standing together in a unified broadcast. Their message played in perfect Zolarian, shocking everyone on the command deck. To the Zolarian Empire, your test has failed. We have known about your kind for generations. The crash at Roswell. The signals from Tau Ceti. The mining operation on Mars that you thought we wouldn't notice. We've been watching. Learning. Preparing. Pax's crests drooped in disbelief. They've been reverse engineering technology from previous encounters. That's how they tracked us through the cloaking field. A human military officer continued on screen, every nation on Earth has contributed to our defensive capabilities. While you watched us fight among ourselves over resources and politics, we were uniting where it mattered most, against external threats. The ship's diagnostic systems flashed urgent warnings as more systems failed. Something was actively disabling their technology, not just damaging it, but systematically shutting it down. They're using a variant of our own counter-intrusion protocols against us, Morgax whispered in horror. They've been studying us as thoroughly as we've been studying them. The truth dawned on Pax with crushing finality. The primitive combustion engines. The polluted atmosphere. The apparent technological stagnation. all carefully orchestrated deceptions. They wanted us to attack, he said, watching as Earth's defense fleet surrounded his crippled vessel. They've been playing primitive, waiting for someone like us to take the bait. And we fell for it. The High Council fell for it. As the inevitable dominance's last functioning systems began to fail, Commander Pax Tuvek realized that humanity hadn't just been preparing for this encounter. They had been orchestrating it. The massive viewscreen on the auxiliary command deck flickered to life, revealing not just a handful of Earth vessels, but an entire armada. Sleek, deadly ships of various designs hung in orbit around the crippled inevitable dominance. Some bore insignias of Earth nations, others displayed emblems Commander Pax had never seen before. "By the 5 moons," whispered Morgax. "They have a fleet. A real fleet." A new transmission cut through their failing communication system. A human appeared on screen, dressed in what appeared to be a formal diplomatic uniform. "Commander Pax Tuvek of the Zolarian Empire," the human spoke, her accent perfect High Zolarian. "I am Ambassador Elena Blackwood of the United Earth Defense Coalition. Your transmission capabilities have been modified. This message is being broadcast not just to your vessel, but directly to your homeworld and every Zolarian outpost in this sector." Pax stumbled backward. "That's not possible. For 78 years, we've been preparing for this encounter," Ambassador Blackwood continued, her expression stern but not vengeful. "The crashed scout ship at Roswell gave us our first glimpse of your technology. The diplomatic vessel near Alpha Centauri provided language and cultural data. We've been patient, watching your expansion patterns across this sector." The stunned silence on the command deck was broken only by the continued alarms and failing systems. "You believed us primitive because we wanted you to. You saw what we chose to show, our conflicts, our apparent technological limitations. Meanwhile, we united where it mattered and developed defenses specifically designed to counter Zolarian aggression." The ambassador's image was replaced by footage showing humans working alongside beings Pax recognized with shock as Centaurians, Proxians, and other species the Zolarian Empire had previously pacified. "Your empire's error was assuming we would stand alone. We've been building alliances with other species you've threatened. And now, Commander Tuvek, we offer you terms." Pax's crests drooped in complete surrender. "Terms? You mean our surrender?" "Precisely. Beginning with your immediate withdrawal from all territories you've seized in the last century." The implications hit Pax like a physical blow. "Or what?" Ambassador Blackwood's image returned, her expression now bearing the faintest hint of a smile. "Or we activate our operatives." The final piece clicked into place. "You've infiltrated our society. 4 decades. Did you never wonder why certain military decisions seemed poorly timed? Why key technological advances mysteriously stalled?" As Earth's fleet moved into formation around his crippled vessel, Commander Pax Tuvek finally understood the magnitude of his empire's miscalculation. They had dispatched a single ship to what they believed was a primitive world. Instead, they had awakened a galactic power that had been hiding in plain sight, waiting for precisely this moment to reveal itself. "Tell your empire," Ambassador Blackwood concluded, "that Earth is now open for diplomatic relations. As equals. Or not at all."